not satisfied with mediocrity. Not going to happen. The energy can't just be in one-on-one pass rush. That's got to be the same in 7-on-7. That's got to be the same in special teams. Good rep. That's good. Good.
Yeah, AJ.
Like, the expectations are unbelievable, so just keep getting better.
Some of the sights and sounds from training camp so far for the Florida Atlantic Owls. Hi everybody, welcome to the 2026 edition of Inside the Owls Burrow. Alongside the Hagerty family head football coach Zach Kittley, I'm Frank Fort. Coach, camp so far, what are the big differences between this time a year ago as a first-time head coach and now?
Yeah, just a lot of continuity. You know, the offensive, defensive, special team systems are all in. You know, we're going on year 2 with the same coaching staff, which I think is huge. Again, it's a lot of player retention. So we got guys that were here last year that understand the process, understand what we're trying to do, and so it's just been smoother. And again, just a more mature football team.
You've changed up the schedule a little bit. About every third day is just a walkthrough and meetings. What's the theory behind that change?
Yeah, you know, I spent a lot of time this offseason studying. You know, I've got friends at big-time programs across the country, and I just kind of, you know, asked them all, hey, would you mind sharing me kind of what y'all did last year? And I tried to build out the best schedule for our guys to where we can stay healthy, but also get enough football in. Again, I've said it a lot, we're a more mature football team, we're an older football team, we've got a lot of guys that have played a lot of snaps, and so my biggest thought process was let's get these guys healthy to September 5th, and so that's kind of why we're doing it. You know, those walkthroughs are long walkthroughs. We're getting a ton of football in during those times, but it just takes some of that physical beating off those guys.
Well, it all starts with the quarterback, Caden Veldkamp. He had a terrific year a year ago in terms of touchdown passes, yards, led the nation in completions per game. The one thing we want to see improvement in is cutting down on the interceptions. What can you as a coaching staff do to help him do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it starts with taking some pressure off of him. You know, running the football better. You know, not having to go out there and throw it 60 times a game all the time. And again, I think that starts with the run game. You know, I got to get the ball out of his hands quicker. But with the run game too, we're going to be able to get ourselves into some better passing situations, and we got to start games faster. You know, whenever you're down early, you know, and you know that the possessions are going to be limited towards the end, you got to put the ball in the air a little bit more. And so I think that's going to be the biggest thing, and just getting him comfortable early in the game and not trying to put too much pressure on his back.
His top receivers, Easton Messer and Dom Henry, are back. Kelby Valson looks like he can be a playmaker. The running back room looks pretty solid. Will the offense go as far as that O-line takes them?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think you're spot on. You know, I'm excited with where our offensive line's at. I think we've had a really good camp. Again, part of that's on me too, of how I scheme plays up. You know, I can't just sit back there and have them do 5-man pass pro all day. We got to be able to run the football. We got to be able to move the pocket. We got to call some screens. But yeah, I mean, we're extremely talented. Again, we got to keep those talented football players on the outside healthy. But yeah, same thing in the front. We got to keep those guys healthy because I'm really excited with where our offensive line is so far in camp.
You had your first scrimmage last Saturday. As usual, it was a mixed bag. Offense made some plays, defense made some plays, but Dom Henry had a big scrimmage. I thought Antoine Woody flashed really well. Even with the third group, Chase Hanning did some nice work on the outside. So what were you really pleased about with the scrimmage?
Yeah, my biggest takeaway is, number one, we had no pre-snap penalties on the offensive defensive line. So no offsides, no false starts, which is huge. That shows that we can be a disciplined football team when it comes to those things. Yeah, I mean, again, I thought we tackled well defensively. I thought we ran to the football. We swarmed the football, which is, you know, what we're trying to accomplish on defense. And then offensively, you know, we created some explosive plays. I thought we ran the ball really well with some new run schemes we're doing. And again, the biggest things, we came out healthy, which is what I was proud of.
Defensively, are you hoping for more game-changing plays this year after only 8 takeaways last year?
Absolutely. I mean, it's been a huge point of emphasis. You know, starting in winter through where we're at right now, we've made an emphasis on the ball, and our defense has done a good job with that. I think that starts with our defensive front. You know, if it's easier to create turnovers, to have interceptions in the back end if you can play more zone coverage, where you're not having to add blitzers. And again, I think our defensive line is going to allow us to just maybe have a 4-man rush more than we did last year, which in turn lets us play more zone coverage in the back end. And we got to swarm the football. We got to try to punch that football out. And when the ball's in the air and we have opportunities in the secondary to make those plays, we got to make them.
One guy that's always flashed for me on defense, even going back to the spring, is Joe Sipp Jr. transfer from Kansas. He seems to make a lot of plays. He's always around the football. Him alongside Leon Hart. I mean, there could be 200 tackles there between those two.
Yeah, it's a great 1-2 punch, man. Joe's a football player. He flies around. He's got a nose for the football. Great tackler. He's got great speed at the linebacker position, and that's what you want. You know, I'm a believer in guys that can run and hit. And then Leon, we all know what he did last year, and I think we're only going to see him get better this year as well.
Your team has selected 6 captains for the season, not surprisingly. Caden Veldkamp, Easton Messer, Vinny Fiacable, CJ Doggett, Leon Hart, as we mentioned. And the only newcomer that was picked as a captain was Tyson Rooks. And I know you want this to be a player-led team. What is the importance of that captainship?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think that it's important that their peers get to vote who's the captains. You know, we've all been together for the most part. Everyone's been here since January, and so when you go through winter conditioning, you go through football schools, you go through spring ball, you go through summer workouts, you go through summer football schools. These guys kind of find out amongst themselves, hey, who's going to be able to really get this team going and lead this team. And so for those 6 guys to be picked, I thought was awesome. You know, you mentioned Tyson. I think it's great. You know, Tyson won our in the skill position, he won our winter conditioning as far as our competition that we had, and he's just been top notch since we've been here. But you want it to be a player-led team. You know, that way I'm not always the one trying to hold guys accountable, get them going. If it's a player-led team, those are the best teams I've ever been around, and I'm excited for those 6 captains that can lead these guys.
Well, last week was your 35th birthday, so happy birthday. The team sang to you after practice. There were popsicles for all to celebrate. Still the youngest head coach in FBS. Are you a year older and a year wiser as a head coach with that year of experience under your belt?
I definitely think so. You know, I mean, you know, you look back at last year, and there's a lot of areas where I'm a big believer in self-reflection, and so I studied a lot of different things that I felt like I'd got to get better at over the years, and you know, just going into year 2, I'm just more comfortable. Again, I do think it helps me with the staff continuity that I have, and definitely helps with the player continuity we have. But yeah, I feel a lot more prepared this year than I was last year, and again, excited for this season.
Coach, have a great week of practice. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Frank. Go Owls.
Coming up next, we'll visit with defensive back Damon Allen and get to know him better in Pads Off. That's next on Inside the Owls Burrow.
At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, you don't have to be a pro athlete to be treated like one. We use the latest techniques to give you an accurate diagnosis, along with surgical and non-surgical solutions, no matter who you are. Our team of specialists will do everything to help you perform at your best again. And with personalized recovery and rehabilitation plans, you'll be back to living your life to the fullest in no time. Welcome to Pro-Level Orthopedic Care.
My current role at the Heat is Senior Vice President of Brand and Chief Creative Officer. In my role, I oversee all of the creative function, including design, branding, copywriting, including uniforms and merchandise. I think what I love most about the MBA Sport program was the combination of real hands-on practical curriculum, solving today's business problems, having high-level discussions around what was happening in the world of sports business.
To win at this game, you have to put in the work, know the game plan, and execute. At Duffy's, our game is always on.
As one of America's top 100 public universities, Florida Atlantic transforms South Florida's strengths into global possibilities. From modernizing healthcare and harnessing ocean energy to unlocking the mysteries of the human brain and building the structures of tomorrow. At the cutting edge of innovation and winning at the highest echelon of intercollegiate athletics. This is Florida Atlantic University.
Inside the Owls Burrow is brought to you in part by Flagler Credit Union, the official credit union of Florida Atlantic University Athletics. Welcome back to Inside the Owls Burrow. As a first-year freshman, defensive back Damon Allen played extensively. The West Boca High School grad sat down with me for this season's first edition of Pads Off. Our guest this week in Pads Off is defensive back Damon Allen from right here in Boca Raton, Florida. All right, do you have a favorite NFL team or player?
Well, right now, my favorite player is probably Devin Witherspoon or Nick Amori.
Oh, you went with the Super Bowl champs, huh? Okay.
Crazy back end.
Favorite team or player not football?
LeBron James. Immediately, LeBron.
I see all you young guys say Bron.
I love LeBron James. I love LeBron James.
All right, let's dive into this. If you won the lottery, what's the first thing you're doing?
First thing I'm doing is giving my money to my parents because, you know, my parents know what's best for me. So that's the first thing I would do is give money to my parents and let them do what they do with it.
When was the last time you tried to do something that looked cool but wound up being embarrassed?
Oh, crazy story. Probably I was back with my siblings in my neighborhood. We used to ride bikes a lot. So, you know, it was racing and, you know, I try to pull a stunt where I go around the car, but I end up getting hit by the car. So It was very embarrassing and I got a whooping.
What's the worst topping you can put on a pizza?
Pineapples. People, please stop putting pineapples on y'all pizzas, please.
Please.
Stop putting pineapples.
Because I am with you on that. All right, if you could give the freshman in high school version of yourself one piece of advice, what would you tell ninth grade Damon Allen?
All I would tell him is be patient and your time is coming up. Don't worry about the other distractions outside of football. Just be patient and do you.
Which one of your teammates would make in the future the best president of the United States?
Brady Tillman, my roommate, number 22. Brady Tillman, I would make Brady Tillman.
What would make him a great president?
Great guy, very outstanding guy, very, very good person. That's all I gotta say. You know, I trust Brady as a president.
Favorite holiday and why?
Christmas, because my birthday is 3 days before Christmas, so we get double gifts.
What was your favorite cartoon character when you were growing up?
Favorite cartoon character was probably either Ben 10 or Goku. Ben 10 or Goku, but those were definitely my favorite characters.
If you could learn to play a musical instrument, which one would it be?
I'll play the drums. I feel like I'll be good with the drums.
Because drummers are always cool, right?
Yes, cool. You know, they like to do the hand gestures with the sticks. I like the drum, yeah.
Which teammate would make the best reality show contestant?
Brandon Hoke. Brandon Hoke is the funniest person on our team. Okay. Brandon Hoke. That's who I'll make our yes, Brandon.
If a song played every time you walked into a room, what would that song be?
I'll probably go NBA Youngboy, Came Through. Yeah, Came Through. That's one for sure.
What sport outside of football you wish you were good at?
Soccer, because soccer was one of my first sports actually that I played before football. So I wish I would have been good at soccer, so I can probably have better feet with.
What's your favorite junk food?
Burgers and pizza. I love burgers. You know, Five Guys, please sponsor me.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Favorite ice cream flavor? Vanilla, just regular vanilla. No cookie and cream, no chocolate, no mint, just vanilla.
That's a very vanilla answer.
That's it, vanilla.
If you were a dog, what breed would you be?
I'd probably be a Rottweiler or something, or maybe like American Bully.
Okay.
I like that one.
Last question for Damon Allen this week. If you could meet one historical person from any time in history, who would you want to meet?
I would want to meet Michael Jackson, if you ask me. I want to meet Michael Jackson. I think Michael Jackson's a good person.
All right. Damon, thanks for taking the pads off and being with us.
Appreciate you, Frank. Go Owls.
Coming up next.
Hey, watch the move. Watch the move.
Mic'd up with guard Vincent Fiacable. That comes your way next on Inside the Owls Burrow. You're watching Inside the Owls Burrow from Florida Atlantic University. I'm Frank Fort. Vincent Fiacable spent the 2025 season as the Owls starting center. This year, he's moving over to guard, and we went inside practice with Fiacable wired for sound.
You're mic'd up?
I am. I love you, dude.
I know you love me. You have no choice.
I do have a choice.
No, you don't. You have no choice.
I choose to love you.
Slave.
We got pregame Indy.
No, Coach, we were going stretch and we were playing football.
Yes, Sarge.
Wait, are you on our team?
Of course, you on Team Blue? Are you on our team? Are you on Team Blue? Nice calf tat, dude. Nice calf tat, bro. You look sick.
Thank God, though. We're on defense first.
I know. Oh, go! There we go. Good play. I can't believe Blake made that diving tackle on 11. Are we going the whole time? Like the next 30 minutes too? Good run. Hey, 28, 28, 28. How many drives did we get? 3? 4? Hey, Deuce 18. Let's freeze. Freeze. We don't need one. When you're a cohesive unit, you don't need to meet and get rah-rah. 5-0.
Hey, he's coming.
Yeah. Go. What are you looking at? He was fully over. Hey, watch the move. Watch the move. We gotta worry about pad level and playing fast. Dude,
if I miss my hands, and then Cuddy comes and bangs back, now I'm flipped over.
Dude, O-line's way harder than D-line. It's not a lie.
Since spring practice ended, the Owls have spent much of their time training to improve strength and stamina. Here's a look inside the summer conditioning program.
We wanted to get faster, we wanted to get stronger, expose them to more sprint work this summer. But with that being said, just to grow more mentally tough by putting them in adverse situations, a faster tempo in the weight room, longer, harder conditioning, 4-quarter conditioning, emphasize that we are going to run a high tempo offense, we are going to spot the ball, we have to be in shape, our weapon is our tempo. How we play defense is another weapon of ours. So we try to simulate that, whether it's in the weight room, the sand, or on the turf fields out there. We pride ourselves on hard training. We're smart about it, but I truly believe young men need to continue to learn how to work hard again, especially in this day and age. We have to be able to mesh early, and we have to get a collective group of guys that want to be tough together and not individually.
Coming up, meet the new athletic director of Florida Atlantic. We'll talk with Josh McCowan straight ahead on Inside the Owls Burrow. You're watching Inside the Owls Burrow. I'm Frank Fort. In early August, Florida Atlantic hired Josh McCowan as their new vice president and director of athletics. Here is my one-on-one interview with him. Well, Josh, first an obvious question is, why Florida Atlantic? What was attractive about this job?
What was exciting about this was just the passion and the energy behind the brand of Florida Atlantic, and being in the American Conference, a phenomenal conference, and just knowing the history here and seeing how much had been accomplished, and just really wanting to be a part of just the future of this place, and feeling like there was a lot of opportunities still left here of growth and places to go, and so could not be more excited to be here.
As a first-time AD, what are 2 or maybe 3 things that you've learned from people that you've worked for that you want to implement?
Certainly have worked for a ton of great mentors, leaders. I would not be in this position without so many. And I know when you start naming them all, you usually end up leaving some people out. But I think the two big things that stuck out, right, is just you have to be yourself. You have to operate that the way that you feel best, and know who you are in order to lead other people. And then the second thing was just how to manage and deal with so many different constituents, whether it's campus or community or student athletes and coaches, and just learning how to navigate different groups that all go in, that make up the athletics enterprise of Florida Atlantic. And so those are two big things.
Your wheelhouse is fundraising. You were responsible for record donations at Kansas State and Mississippi State. In the era of rev share and NIL, is that the most important piece of athletic administration?
Everything is important. Absolutely everything. Certainly that is a critical piece. There's no doubt that revenue generation in all forms, not just fundraising, whether it's ticket sales, MMR, concessions, licensing, whatever it may be, third-party events, all revenue is certainly becoming, I would say, more critical than it ever has before. And so I think those statements are true. But again, the entire athletic enterprise is critically important. And how are we treating student athletes? Making sure that we're equipping them with tools for life and for outside of those white lines, right? Or whatever the sport may be, how can we build into these young people to allow them opportunities to go have success, after sports?
You toured the facilities, which again are vital in modern college sports. What was your impression of the buildings and the infrastructure?
Yeah, really impressed, So could not be more excited to roll up my sleeves and get to work. Certainly there's some that I think there's some things that we can do, and you're always going to have room for improvement in facilities. It doesn't, regardless of wherever they are, there's always going to be opportunities and things that maybe we don't have that would be needed, or items that we just need to look at. And so that'll be a plan that we develop as we get here of what that is and what are those priorities.
You've barely hit the ground. I'm sure your head is still in a whirlwind, but what's at the top of the to-do list as you start this job?
Yeah, I'm going to embark on what I call a look, listen, and learn tour. I've really got to come in and find out and learn from people and understand a lot of what's been done and what's going on and then put my spin on it. And so immediately out of the gate, I'm going to ask 1,000 questions. I told the group that this morning. I'm going to be asking a lot so I can start to learn and understand everything that there is, and so that's going to be priority number one out of the gate the first couple months.
It's good to see you.
Welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Really nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Man,
so
you're outfitted, looking sharp.
Yeah, there we go. Out of the gate.
Getting to know your head coaches and staffs, is that a priority as well?
1,000%. So again, it's why I met with our head coaches this morning. I met with our executive staff, and I met as an all staff, and that was a priority for me to do before the press conference, because I wanted them to hear from me first. I wanted them to feel like, the first time that they were hearing from somebody, it was me, not in a public setting. And so that will absolutely be priority of being able to get here, roll up my sleeves, get to know them as people, and then get to learn and understand how we can move Florida Athletic University and athletics program forward together.
That's our show for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm Frank Fort. We'll see you next time right here on Inside the Owls Burrow. This has been a presentation of Playfly.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Don't let your checking account just sit there. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. For whatever you're thinking, dreaming, or doing, Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Fulfilling dreams, supporting community. Proud partner of Florida Atlantic University Athletics.
A university at the forefront of innovation, a place of natural beauty,
where learning has no limits. Forging a path through an ever-changing world and raising the bar of what is possible. This is Florida Atlantic. Your future awaits.
My current role at the Heat is Senior Vice President of Brand and Chief Creative Officer. In my role, I oversee all of the creative function, including design, branding, copywriting, including uniforms and merchandise. I think what I love most about the MBA Sport program was the combination of real hands-on practical curriculum, solving today's business problems, having high-level discussions around what was happening in the world of sports business.
The Florida Atlantic University Sport MBA program is nationally renowned.
We want someone that has a passion to work in the sports industry. It's a requirement to work within the sports industry, so you'll be doing that simultaneously as you're getting your master's degree.